Michael Mastro. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Vastu Creations. Today we're going to look at Tom Brady. We've looked at him before, but this week he announced his retirement, so I just wanted to see if there was anything in his chart that would show this big decision. So he has an interesting chart. On the surface, it doesn't appear to be a chart that would support all the success that he's had as a football player over the years, but hugely successful. And it's just an example where, you may have some vulnerabilities in your chart, but if you can, it those vulnerabilities can make you very strong if you can overcome them, and hugely successful. And particularly if you're, naturally doing some of the remedies that we're going to be talking about. So if you look at his chart, if you look to the eastern horizon when he was born, you would see the constellation associated with Virgo rising at 24 degrees. Any planets or nodes of the moon like Rahu and Ketu, Saturn, that are very close to that rising sign degree have a lot of impact in the chart. So let's see how where the Multikona signs are in the chart. In transformational Vedic astrology, we look at Multikona signs and they take precedence. Multikona sign means that, for example, Venus rules, many of the planets rule two signs. The seventh sign is Libra, and it's ruled by Venus. And then the second sign of Taurus is also ruled by Venus. Now, one of those two signs becomes the Multikona sign for Venus. And Venus is all about relationships, and so is Libra. So it's more closely associated with Libra than it is Taurus. So if we look at the Multikona signs and what houses they fall in, all the different things you experience in your life, each one of these houses describes those experiences. And so where these Multikona signs fall, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, and 11, indicates things that you're working on in this lifetime. And again, we're using sidereal, not Western astrology. Sidereal zodiac is where the astronomers would say your planets actually were in the sky when you were born, as opposed to Western astrology is where the planets were a couple thousand years ago. So if we look at the Multikona signs, we see Aries ruled by Mars, the first sign of Aries ruled by Mars in the 8th house. 8th house has to do with research, and so he's researching different plays and watching videos of other teams to perfect his career. And then if you see the 4th sign of Cancer ruled by Moon, he's working on income and working within organizations, the football organization. Then you see the 5th sign of Leo ruled by Sun in the 12th house. 12th house has to do with being able to be detached, be in a zone. Like he's a quarterback, and he has to really focus and be in a zone. And this 12th house helps you to be detached. Then you have the 6th sign, which is the ruler of Virgo. So Virgo ruled by Mercury in the 1st house. 1st house has to do with learning about fame and connecting with your life purpose, what you came here to do. And a lot of Virgos help other people. So a lot of his wealth is going to, and time is going to some charitable organizations. Then we see the 7th sign of Libra, ruled by Venus in the 2nd house, learning about wealth and fame and stability in the family. Then we see the 9th sign of Sagittarius, ruled by Jupiter in the 4th house. 4th house is happiness, home life, got a great home life, 3 kids. And then the 11th sign of Aquarius ruled by Saturn in the sixth house. Sixth house has to do with service, helping other people, and competition. So he's in a sport that's highly competitive. So let's see how the planets are operating, and then we'll see different points in his life when they're operating, and then we will see what made him very successful and why he decided to retire at this point in his life. So, um, Sun is ruling the house of detachment, and you could say that it's sitting in the house of income. So his income is connected to his ability to be focused and to be a great leader. Sun, to be a leader of an organization, and so all of those things come together there in that house of income and social connections and organizations. And so he's the leader of the team. Then we have Moon is at now Sun. Wherever you see a Multicona sign in the 6th, 8th, or the 12th house, those are called something that Parasha pointed out is those functional these Multicona signs in the 6th, 8th, or 12th, the challenging Dustana houses, they become functional malefic. And I noticed this in astrology. People were coming to me who were in a Venus period and thought everything should be great, but for them, in their specific chart, Venus was a functional malefic. And then you have other people that are coming and saying they're in a Saturn period, but they're having great success. So this has to do with the functional nature of the planets. So Aquarius ruled by Saturn. Saturn becomes functional malefic. That means it possibly in the birth chart or the transit chart can cause some harm. And Saturn is very close to the most effective point. So it can be affecting 3, 7, and 10 houses away. And then you have Mars is also can cause some challenges, and but it's not close to the most effective point. So just through conjunction or aspects in the birth or the um, transit chart from time to time. Then you have Sun. Sun is not close to the most effective point, also can be challenging. But in his case, these challenges made him even stronger because he overcame them. So Moon is, we just talked about Moon. Mars. Mars is, again, through research, he gains good fortune. Mars ruling the house of research, sitting in the house of good fortune. Also, this is the 8th house is the house of windfalls. So, huge windfalls in his life of money and fame and success. So, and then Mars itself is sports. So it connects sports, good fortune, with this ability to listen to or watch hours and hours of videos about his opponents and about his team and to create strategies for success. Then we have Mercury is, again, connecting. The first house is life purpose and the body, and it is sitting in this house of detachment. So Mercury is intelligence. So he has very highly intelligent to figure out these strategies to win, and being detached and being in a focused zone to be able to figure out who to pass the ball to at the right time so that person can connect, catch that ball, and create a touchdown. So, yeah, a lot goes into that. Problem solving abilities under pressure, basically, that ability to be detached under pressure. And Jupiter is ruling the house of happiness and family life, and it's sitting in the house of career house. So, and it's slightly weak. Any planets that's less than 5 degrees is said to be in infant state. Any planet that's more than 25 degrees, like Saturn, is said to be in old age, just slightly. And so they can't put these infants and elderly people can't promote or protect their own significations like a person who is not infant or old age. So just slightly weak. But I think Jupiter, the happiness sitting in the house of career, so he gains happiness through his career. And there's a balance between the home life and the career, and that's part of his decision to retire. Jupiter's also children, so he has 3 beautiful kids. Then Venus is ruling the house of wealth and fame and the stability in the family, placed in the house of career. So again, connects his wealth with his career and wealth and fame through his career. And then Venus is also wife, very supportive wife. And Venus gives a strong physical body as well to perform in his career. And then Saturn is at 25 degrees, is ruling the house of conflict or competition and sitting in the house of income. So connects income with being highly competitive and working very hard and being very focused. Saturn is focus, hard work, discipline. It takes a lot of discipline to, be at the top of the sport that the way he has been for all of these 20 years. Then Rahu and Ketu. Rahu is always balancing something with Ketu, who's opposite. So balancing personal needs with the needs of his teammates and his marriage partner, his wife, and his family. So yeah, that's a big struggle, and that's part of his decision to retire now. So let's look at the timing and events. He joined the Patriots in 2001 and became MVP in 2002, all during a moon period, bringing income, high income and fame. And then 2009, he got married during a Venus period. Venus is the family, stability in the family, wife. And then also in 2010, he had an accident during a Mars period. Mars is all about accidents, ruling the house of accidents, the 8th house. And then in 2011, he had foot surgery during a Sun period. This 12th house is the house of surgery. And then in 2015, he was suspended during a Rahu period. I can't remember if this is letting the air out of the football so he could grasp it better. Anyway, Rahu can bring unexpected events to fame. And then, and his life purpose there. 2019, I think that was his 6th Super Bowl. And it was during a Jupiter period, which brought happiness, and he did win the Super Bowl. And then now, here we are, February 1st, 2022, decides to retire. Now, that's during a Venus-Saturn period. So Venus, again, for a Virgo, there's no Multicona sign in the career house. So the 2nd house becomes the indicator for career. So Venus is, he's in a career main period. And then the sub period is Saturn. So Saturn brings some inner conflict here. And so he's conflicted about whether he should retire. And he has 2 other businesses, a clothing business and things and I think a business that has to do with famous sports memorabilia, autographs, and things like that. So, so some conflict there. And then here, what's happening yesterday when he announced the retirement, and for a few days before that, you see that Sun and Saturn, both who are malefic in the chart, afflicting moon, and in the house of sports, fifth house of sports. So sun is the end of life, end of career, so retirement, affecting, and Saturn is that competition, deciding to end the competition, end in the house of sports, um, and changing his income, obviously, because it's afflicting moon as well. So it seems that it was timely in terms of the planets, timely time to retire. So what are the remedies for this chart? So this person is naturally doing the remedies. He's doing for the malefics, Rahu, Ketu, Saturn, Mars, and Sun is helping people through his charitable organizations. So he's doing that. You don't want to strengthen the malefics, but the rest of the planets could be further strengthened with gems like Jupiter, yellow sapphire, Venus, diamond probably has one, Sun, ruby, Saturn, blue sapphire, Mercury, green emerald, Mars, red coral, or wearing a pendant that contains the Devata yantras for these planets. We sell those on our website, and they also act to protect you from EMFs, 5G. So yeah, just look for a 5G pendant on the website, and just contact me about your chart, and we can create a locket that will protect you from and strengthen your benefic planets to overcome any challenges in your life. So thank you for listening. If you're interested in getting a consultation, you can go to www.vastucreations.com under services, a yearly reading, or Vastu consult, which is Indian Feng Shui. Or you can also go to courses and learn transformational Vedic astrology. You see, it's very powerful for predictions and remedies. And if you know your chart, you can overcome a lot of challenges and be very successful in your life. So you can also get certified and help other people as well. So again, thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next week.